Right. Renewed hope. Right. It's well presented because I must tell you that presentation also come with its own aura to well presented a budget, and for the fact is that it's also the highest budget we've ever had. Though myself, I'm a proponent of having about 50 trillion budget. For me, that is too small for a country like Nigeria, because if you look at South Africa, Egypt, they are not even up to us. They are doing more than we are doing currently. However, we have seen that the capital budget is at least a way high, 30%. We see that also we have seen the, what do you call it, the debt servicing as well, like 30%. We see recurrent like 36%. I think it's a good one, but like we always say, the operationalization of the budget is the key thing, and the revenue itself. Because for me, the current administration is a bit, how do I call it? Is a bit ambitious about this budget, because if you look at our income so far before now is around 11 trillion, but now we are looking at 18 trillion income. Where I look at what they are going to put in place, because that we have removed fuel subsidy does not mean we have more money. We should have less borrowing, because it does not mean that the money is there. We still have where to actually expend the money into. So for me, I think we should just be cautious about that. Then let's look at figures as well now. All the benchmark itself, I think oil is $77 dollar. Fantastic, because I noticed that Saudi Arabia is even doing benchmarking 80, US is doing 93, but Nigeria, with oil thefts and problem, 77 is a good one, so that at least you can have a better margin, so to say. Then if you also look at the area of Naira, that's where I felt so bad. So does it mean that Nigeria does not even have hope that we'll be better than we are presently? It's a big question. A big question that calls for answer. Now you have benchmark at 750. Does it mean there's nothing we can do economically to make sure that our naira have more value? Perhaps inflation have taken everything. So it's a big issue that we must look at very, very well. These figures are very, very key and important. So we have looked at the dollar, we have looked at the oil, but then another thing is inflation. Now I think government is over ambitious about that, though it's a budget, so we should be hopeful that without force majeure we can still have a better one. But we have 27.3% as inflation now, and we are bringing our budget on the benchmark of 21%. I don't know the miracle that is going to happen, but the miracle can come with a renewed hope. So we are hoping that renewed hope will bring a lot of things. But by and large, I only see one thing that we should score this government for. It's a government that wants to jumpstart the growth of the economy, which is very, very key, because if you don't jumpstart the economy as it is now, it's going to be an issue. Then they also made mention about creating employment and what have you. I also see this government, if it is well coordinated, if this president lead from the front, unlike what we have before, we could have that considerable employment. Even the labor minister is saying 21% employment opportunity and 35% out of poverty. It's possible if we really canvas and galvanize around three things that we have tried to do. You see, blue economy, it's a good place to really find job if we can create a good job. You see, steel development is a good one. You see, mines too. I think this area, if we can really work effectively in it, we can do better. And our oil, which is the almighty resources for Nigeria, I think if we can also kill the oil theft, because President Tinubu just reappoints Mele Kyari, so I'm convinced that you have seen something very special, and that's why he's bringing him on board for the second time. If not, because he has actually tried the reduction of oil theft, you could see, at least for sin's sake, we could see how they try to reduce all those areas. So if we can handle that area very well and kill corruption in that area, I think, but we must not live in denial. Nigerian citizens are not okay at all. So we must do something very, very fast to take people, because there's what we call price elasticity. It's going to take over things if care is not taken out. Even you carry, just like our country, our neighbor, our good neighbor. I remember our good neighbor. There was a time I went to that country, our neighboring country. You have to go with Ghana must go to buy something small in that country. So I'm hoping Nigeria will not get to that level.
Well, just like he said earlier on, this